Hi, you guys. The Lord is a quick message from the Lord, from the throne, from the Most High. The Lord released this word, and He said they are using chemical weapons, right? Um, and He wanted me was to explain, because with this is something that is new to me when He said chemical weapons. And He said, just like when you have the flesh and the spirit, right? The flesh is what you can see and touch, and the spirit is things that you can't see and touch. He say the enemy have physical weapons that he use where you're able to see, and he have the weapons that is chemical that you aren't able to see, that the enemy has released. And he say he has released chemical weapons, and I'm gonna give you what are some of these chemical weapons and what it does and how to fight against it, right? He say there is a weapon when the enemy release, right, weapons to war against your mind. He say our our weapons are not carnal, but is mighty to the pulling down of strongholds, right? Carnal meaning is not physical or wherever it is. We don't fight physical. He say in this time the enemy is using spiritual weapons, right? And one of the example of a spiritual weapon that can attack you is stress. And what stress does is that it attacks the nervous system. Okay, that is the Holy Spirit for those who are new here, right? For those who are new to the channel, that is the Holy Spirit, right? So he say for stress, what it does, it attacks the nervous system. And when it attacks the nervous system now, your actions is affected by that. And because you're nervous, or you're unsure wherever it is, or you're scared or wherever it is, he say the reason why the enemy release these weapons is to just like how in the physical, when they are fighting wars and you see that they release weapons in the air, is to take lives, right? It's to get you to run, says the Most High God. He said there is a weapon also. I'm going to give you a next weapon. Anxiety is a next spiritual weapon that the enemy release to you. And what that does is to suffocate you. What does that mean when it's to suffocate you? But rather is to make you feel like, you ever when you get anxiety, you feel like if you can't breathe or wherever it is to make you unsure so much, and so it's to put you in a state of panic or wherever it is. And the reason for this, why the enemy is using these weapons, you guys, is to put you into, is to get you to run, is to get you to give up your life, says the Most High God. He said this is why he gave some of us these antidotes that I'm going to give you. He said that cast all your burdens upon me because I care. That release stress. When you speak to the Lord about it, you release that thing from you. He said worship. He said exchange the garments of sorrow for the garments of praise. Worship is something to fight against these things, because when you worship, you know that I don't hold tomorrow and I don't know the next step. This is what you do for your anxiety. I don't hold tomorrow and I don't hold the next step, but I know someone that knows my future, and this person here is Abba, and he say he loved me, and he thought he'd think of me to bless me and bring me to my expected end. So regardless of if I'm unsure of what is going to happen, because I know him and I know he loves me and he wants the best for me, then I know regardless of whatever it is come my way, I'm going to be okay. Yes, Lord, praise your name. He said these are some of the things that you use to fight against these things. Fear is also a weapon that the enemy released, and it works through darkness, right? Some of you all have lack of information, lack of knowledge when it comes to certain areas in your life, and the enemy wants to use that weapon of fear, which is a chemical weapon, to fight against you, to make you run, says the Most High God. It's to attack your body so that you will be on the flight or run simulation. If you haven't noticed, when you feel like you're okay, it's like this. He said The enemy has released these weapons because he wants you to run. The Lord said he has released chemical weapons so that he can take you down. And the only how that you can fight against these things is, the first weapon is prayer. The second one is to recognize these antidotes that the Bible have given us to deal with these things that will come and attack our system, says the Most High God. And we have to recognize he said, so if it is that you encounter heaviness, he said, cast all the cares upon me because he cares for you, meaning lay all thy burden upon me. You understand? My yoke is easier. These are things because the Lord know that the enemy will come in. He said, when the enemy coming like a flood, this is what they do. The Spirit of the Lord put up asunder, blocks those weapons that is coming. This is why it said, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. When you preach and you say those things, says the Most High God, he has to, first and foremost, he have to cause you to recognize the weapons that is coming, says the Most High God. Praise your name, Lord. He have to first get you to recognize it, because if you don't know it's there, you will not know that you need to fight against it. But when you recognize it now, and because the Spirit of the Lord acts as a light, because it said, I am the way, the truth, and the light, says Jesus Christ. And when you have his Spirit, you have his light that make known all things to you. So even if the enemy, you might not be able to see his physical weapon, because you have the Holy Spirit and his Spirit, the Holy Spirit can be able to recognize the spiritual weapons that they are coming, that they are sending your way, and to show you how to fight against it. This is how the Spirit of the Lord put up asunder. Praise your mighty name, Lord. This is how the Spirit of the Lord put up asunder. So he's saying this times they are sending chemical weapon that your eyes cannot see. But the Lord is recognizing it, and he's telling you how to deal with these things, because when they can't get you to give it up physically, they are going to come to try to affect your body. Oh God, there's also yes, Abba, there's also a weapon to make you fed up, is to exhaust you, right? It's to exhaust you. And he said, this is why he say, they shall be planted by the tree of rivers of running water that bringeth forth fruits in the season. Whatsoever you do, it shall prosper, right? For this weapon where they are sending to make you fed up or tired or whatever, this is when certain things reoccurring over and over again, and you're getting fed up or wherever it is. He said what happens is that the word of the Lord, long as you are planted in his word, long as you are meditating meaning you're bringing up his word, you're thinking about his word, just like a cow bringing up its cuts. When you are thinking on his word, when you are reading his word, he say that refreshes you. It refreshes you. So even though you're going through whatever it is, it refreshes you. It is like you're drinking water. You're getting tired of treading this road. You're getting tired of going through all of this. But when you get the word of the Lord, it refreshes you to be able to fight the next day. It refreshes you to be able to do things. And you will be producing fruits in its season. Fruits of the Spirit are love, peace, oh God, long suffering, all these things. So when you need the Spirit of, oh God, the fruit of endurance that's supposed to grow from a mature tree, a tree that has been planted by the rivers of water, now is mature enough to produce fruits. You will see the fruit of endurance when you, oh God, praise your name, Lord, when you need it to be shown, when the season come where you need to endure till the end, because you will have some season where you'll be trotting along and you'll be wondering to yourself, Lord, when it's gonna end. And he said, for those seasons, you're gonna need the fruits, oh God, of endurance. But how do you get that fruits without reading the word of the Lord, without standing by the word of the Lord, without meditating on it, like it says in 1 Psalms? Praise your name, Lord. So they are sending chemical weapons, and I believe I give you some of the things to fight against it, because we are fighting a spiritual fight in this last days. Stay blessed, strong saints of the Most High. I hope you understand what the Holy Spirit just now used me to say. Bye, guys. Praise your name, Lord.